Hello, Nashville. This is Business as Usual, the new podcast from NPL Means Business. NPL Means Business is a program inside of Nashville Public Library where we will inform the Nashville public on different business practices to set them up to be successful entrepreneurs. My name is Bailey, and I am the adult librarian at the Donaldson branch.
And my name is Tina. I work at the Green Hills branch in adult services.
And I'm Corey. I'm the branch manager at the Goodlettsville Branch Library.
We started this podcast so we can explore different small business and entrepreneur resources and support organizations throughout the Nashville community.
NPL Means Business is an initiative to assist Nashville entrepreneurs and small business owners in finding resources through the library. Our goal is to create a more diverse and motivated entrepreneurial ecosystem in Nashville. The library will serve as an essential player in helping Nashville citizens discover and realize their dream business.
So the history of NPL Means Business, it's been sort of a short life, I guess. It was a creation that came after the pandemic. We studied business statistics and started purchasing resources that ended up supporting small businesses. We already had some of the resources, but we finally got a chance to put everything together. So NPL Means Business officially started in 2021. So it'll be 3 years ago in September is when we first launched. In 2020 alone, there were 4 million businesses that started in the United States, and that has continued to increase. In 2023, there were 5.5 million businesses that were started in the States. So the need for this initiative was already there, and what we were trying to do is trying to fill that need here for Nashvillians and Middle Tennessee. One thing that started as a catalyst for our push towards, compiling all the resources that we already have and putting a concerted effort towards adding more, we purchased a database. The database was based on a book called Who Owns the Ice House by a man named Clifton Talbert. Clifton Talbert was actually an entrepreneur. I believe he was in Kansas, and he was a successful entrepreneur, had a long life doing lots of different business ventures. I know at one point, he invested a lot of money in Stairmaster and helped promote that product. And so that gives you an idea of how long he's been in the business of entrepreneurship. But anyways, the book itself is about Clifton and his experiences in the Mississippi Delta, where his uncle, who he worked for, the uncle owned an ice house. And the idea was that the Mississippi Delta at the time, very segregated, but Clifton's uncle, Uncle Cleve, supplied ice, and that's what everybody needed in the hot Mississippi Delta. So the book and the story is sort of a result of some interviews done by a man named Gary Schoeniger, who also another entrepreneur who works for the Kauffman Foundation, or did at the time, in the Kansas area. And it was part of a project where Gary went around and interviewed lots of entrepreneurs. This book, we have many copies in the system. And like I said, it's there. It tells the story of Clifton's life and learning from Uncle Cleve and applying its 8 life lessons is what it's called. It's an easy read, quick read. There's 8 chapters to it. And to give you an idea of the types of things you might learn, it's sort of good for everybody. It's not only for people who are starting businesses. It's, of course, focused towards that, but I've never started a new business, but I've found it to be pretty inspirational in my life as well. But the book itself will help you uncover hidden opportunities within your everyday life, start where you are, and use what you have to get where you want to go in life, overcome self-limiting beliefs that hinder your ability to prosper and thrive, tap into wisdom of experienced entrepreneurs, create the life you envision instead of accepting the status quo, and a lot more stuff. So it covers topics of wealth and finding a problem to solve and going through that situation. It's a great book to read. But I will turn it back over to Tina. She's going to talk a little bit more about the collection and the books that we have at NPL.
Right. Just piggybacking on what Corey just mentioned, Who Owns the Ice House? I could not endorse that book more. I found it to be really inspirational. Like Corey said, I'm You don't necessarily have to be starting your own business or have plans to do that, but I personally found it super inspirational. And for anyone who is just starting, they've got that idea in their head. I think that's really going to go a long way in maybe pushing them and giving the motivation they need to get started. But we do have tons of other new books added all the time in our collection. We also have databases to help out the budding entrepreneur. I'm just going to name a few of them. We've got Business Insight Essentials, Data Axle Reference Solutions, Gale databases, and we've got the Gale databases Entrepreneurship, Gale Business, Gale Directory Library, and Gale General OneFile. Also super helpful is LinkedIn Learning, where you're taking actual courses to get you ahead, and Morningstar Investment Research Center. Did you have anything you want to add about our databases, Corey?
Yeah, Data Axle is one that I always plug for people. It's great as a marketing tool for your business. If you want to try to look around Nashville to see what kind of competition that your businesses may have, if you want to look a little more broadly than that, you can definitely do that. I think it has data that reaches all the way into Canada. And you can actually, like I said, do marketing, market research, pull consumer lifestyle trends and things like that. So we actually teach classes on Data Axle from time to time. And we recently taught a class that mentioned LinkedIn Learning to SCORE. It's a really cool database. Like Tina was saying, you can take courses that you get invested in, and you can definitely learn a lot. They've got topics that covers AI and marketing and social media marketing and so on for business topics. You can spend a lot of time on LinkedIn Learning.
You just mentioned SCORE. What is that?
It's a volunteer organization that we have a chapter here in Nashville. It's funded by the Small Business Administration, but it is a federal, national sort of volunteer organization. So what they do is SCORE provides mentors free of charge to anybody who applies. What you do, you go to their website, you can fill out the little application, they'll get in touch with you, get you fixed up with a mentor, a local entrepreneur who's been successful, who's had a lot of ventures and well experienced, and they will help you through whatever you need help with. So they're really cool. Like I said, all of it's free. So
love free.
Yeah.
One of the databases I wanted to highlight personally that I use is the Morningstar Investment Research Center. I think that's awesome that we have that, because a lot of that information is normally behind paywalls, pretty expensive paywalls. So if you're into like stock investing or doing any kind of market research, I feel like that's a wonderful resource to look into and play with a little bit. There's a lot of tools on there to help you out.
There's also a Value Line that we have access to that'll do, very similar. They're both focused on stocks and trading and things like that. It just depends on which type of reports that you like best with those. One of them, I think it's Value Line, that's a little bit more limited in scope in terms of access. Only a handful of people can get it at one time. But as long as you're, awake and jumping online and beating everybody else to it, you'll be fine. So,
well, if Corey and Bailey have highlighted their favorite database, I'm going to throw mine in. That's PressReader. It's a really awesome database. You can access periodicals, magazines, newspapers. There's a wide range of them available. Some of the ones that are relevant to business are the New York Times, the Harvard Business Review, Bloomberg Business Week, and The Economist. So just lots and lots to access through PressReader. Very simple to do that online through our databases. Super valuable. And if you have any leisure time outside of trying to build your business or start it, it has other entertainment magazines and periodicals as well.
I was going to add, too, that you might want to check our collection catalog online, because some library locations do have access to Nashville Business Journal, physical copies of that, and Wall Street Journal, and a few other business.
I think New York Times, too.
Yeah, New York
Times.
Times.
A new one, yeah.
So, but like you can go to some locations and actually, peruse those pages in hand if you need to.
Yeah, and PressReader has a a pretty big selection. I know one patron asked me for some newspaper in, I think, Illinois that they wanted to look, and Press Reader had it on there. So pretty much any newspaper you'd want is on the Press Reader.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I think it's got over 1,000 or 7,000 titles, so definitely check that out.
Yeah, and something else we offer, we have a lot of services for people in business. I'm sure a lot of people might know the Book a Librarian system that we have, so you can book a librarian for notary services or tech help or different things like that. But you can also book a librarian for business purposes. So there's business resource information. If you need help going through our business databases, we can do that for you. Community organizations and partnerships and government programs for entrepreneurs. If you just book a librarian for that, we can help you out in any way we can. And we also do referrals, so to different businesses in Nashville. Corey mentioned SCORE, so we'll do referrals to that. Chamber of Commerce, Nashville Entrepreneur Center, and different universities. I know Vanderbilt has a pretty big business office. I think it's called Wondery, so we'll do referrals there too.
Yeah, the Wondery's great. We also do, sometimes we get legal questions, and that's the first thing you learn in library school is you don't answer legal questions because we know our place. And so, we may defer or refer your question to another organization that can cover that issue. I remember there was one Book a Librarian appointment that we had that dealt with a legal/medical question at the same time. That's the other type of question we don't touch.
Double whammy.
And so we were able to refer them to Meharry Medical School to get that information from them and their librarian there. So, yeah, we do those referrals.
We'll get you the answer.
Yeah. To pick up from there, we also offer programs. We have a standing monthly program on the second Tuesday of each month. It's a lunch and learn program. It's virtual now, and it starts at 12 p.m. It's with the Small Business Administration. They lead the program. We also have usually a representative from the Taxpayer Advocate Service that is on the call, and they talk about the services that they offer. And to give you an idea, Taxpayer Advocate Service is an independent arm of the IRS. So if, like their title says, they advocate for you. And so if you need help with your business taxes and things like that, which there are myriad business taxes, they are a handy resource to be able to reach out to. But the Small Business Administration, like I said, puts on those programs, and they cover lots of different topics, planning for a healthy business, financial management, how to get a loan from SBA, USDA, and Ag Launch. Yesterday, we had a program on social media marketing, which was pretty great, and then the 5 C's of credit. So there's lots of different things that those folks talk about, and they're experts at it. Other types of programs that we offer is Entrepreneurial Book Club. We've done it, led it a few times, a book club on Who Owns the Ice House. It's usually spread across 4 sessions. 4-hour-long sessions. You would read 2 chapters a week and then come back and discuss the book and get into some good details. It's a good way to meet other entrepreneurs around the city too, because they're, going through the same things you are. It's some good lessons to learn from that book as well. And then we also teach, like I mentioned earlier, we teach classes on those databases, how to use those databases efficiently to better help your business.
Yeah, and to find all these, thankfully we have them all on our webpage, library.nashville.gov. If you do a site search for NPL Means Business, it'll bring you right to our site. And on that site, it has every link that we just talked about. The databases are on there. And it has links also to the Small Business Association, the Tennessee Department of Labor, Department of Economic Development, everything that you might need. Any question you might have for small business or entrepreneurship, the answer is probably on there. And if you can't find it there, book a librarian and we'll find it for you.
Yeah, and another way to get more information about our initiative is through our monthly newsletter. The contents are usually to find out more about new books. You can refer to the written word. It's just a section where we highlight new books available through NPL. We also will connect you to events, business-related programs that we're sponsoring, Nashville Public Library is sponsoring, as well as our partners and other resources, and that does include the SBA. So you can find out about our events and programming going on through the program preview. We have a database deep dive frequently in our newsletter, and it's going to point you to different databases and kind of give you a brief overview of what that database does and how it can help you. And then we also have On-Screen Entrepreneurs, and that's where we feature DVDs and digital material that can kind of lighten the load of starting your own business with a little humor and the human side of owning your own business through just kind of relaxing and watching some business-related DVDs. And if folks out there are interested in getting the newsletter, how would they do that, Corey?
So you can sign up for the newsletter on our website. So if you, like Bailey said, go to library.nashville.org, do the site search, and NPL Means Business. Whenever you pull that up, you can scroll to the bottom and hit subscribe. And once you do that, just type in your information there, and that's how you get signed up.
Thank you for tuning in Nashville. We're going to have a new podcast for you every 2 weeks. Corey's got our outline for our interviews coming up.
So, yeah, Bailey, we're going to interview people from Small Business Administration, from SCORE, from Tennessee Small Business Development Centers, Nashville Business Incubation Center, Corner to Corner, lots of other organizations throughout our community. And Tina is going to tell us about where you can find the podcast.
Sure, Corey. You can find us wherever you enjoy your podcast or at library.nashville.org/podcast/business-usual.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you all for listening again. My name is Bailey, and this is Business as Usual.